Hello everybody, Michael here for Tactica Imperialis with part 5 of my Codex analysis for Codex Tau. Today we are taking a look at the Elite section, and at the end of this video I am going to try and do some anti-Riptide tricks and tips. I haven't actually played a Riptide yet, but I get the feeling that there are some things that you can do whether you've played it or not. So, the Elite section. I don't know how much running the Elite section gets in Codex Tau, because with the Crisis team aside, most of it, well actually there's only 3 units in it, and they're all actually rather good, depending on what you want. I stand corrected, completely. Right, so the XV8 Crisis team, good place to start, 22 points per model, and for that you get Weapon Skill 2, BS 3, Strength 5, Toughness 4, 2 Wounds, Initiative 2, 2 Attacks, Leadership 8, and a 3 up saved, which is okay. I mean, Weapon Skill 2, BS 3 is Guardsman level, Strength 5, Toughness 4 is Space Marine level. So, they're okay, Crisis suits. Come with the Crisis Battle Suit, which comes and gives you, I'm pretty sure it was a target lock. No, it wasn't a target lock. It was a multi-tracker. Comes with a multi-tracker and a black sun filter as standard, which is handy. And they have supporting fire and very bulky. So, I think that's might be 3 transport capacity, but they can't take any of the Tau transports anyway. Can't carry battle suits with bulky. Of course, you then have no weapons, so you then have to go and pick your weapons. If you want to see a full comprehensive list of the weapons and what they do, go back to part 3, where I went through all the weapons and the support systems when I was looking at the commander. So there'll be links to the playlist in the description. Go check out part 3 of Codex Analysis for Tau, and that will give you a full rundown on the weapon list. My advice when it comes to weapons and support systems is just make sure your squad has a job. So don't just scatter in one guy with anti-infantry, one guy with anti-tank, and one guy with anti-heavy infantry, unless you're giving them all target locks as well, so they can split fire. Because otherwise, you're rendering some shots useless. So if you're fighting Marines, taking a squad of all flamers, meh, nothing special. Whereas if you're fighting Guard, taking a squad with maybe one with 2 flamers, one with 2 fusion blasters, and one with 2 plasma rifles, what's the point? Because the flamer's great, plasma rifles and fusion blasters are overkill. So pick your war gear based on who you're playing, and then think about what you want your squad to do. Do you want it to kill swathes of infantry? Do you want them to kill tanks? Just think about it carefully before you equip anybody. I think some of the auto takes would probably be a target lock for anybody who's going with 1 anti-tank, 2 anti-infantry. The advanced targeting system, if you've got a weapon that you think you need to snipe characters with. Counter fire defense system if you expect to get charged, because Overwatch are BS2. And I suppose you could take a shield generator, but I think you'd be better off taking a shield drone half the time. Anyway, any chassis will take up to 3 items from ranged weapons and or support systems, which is good. Which is not bad, I suppose. I mean, 2 weapons and a support system, 1 weapon, 2 support systems, whichever. May upgrade 1 Crisis chassis to a chassis for 10 points, which gives you an extra attack and an extra leadership point. If you're putting a commander in here, don't bother. If you aren't, leadership 9 is a damn sight better than leadership 8. And he may take up to 3 items as well. Any chassis or chassis may take up to 2 drones. I had a comment on the troops one that the missile drone isn't available as readily as we thought, so I don't believe missile drones can be taken here. You may want to take marker drones or gun drones, depends on your squad's purpose. If you're expected to go up against tanks, shield drones are nigh on invaluable. If you're going up against mass infantry, you may as well take a couple of gun drones. And so on, if you get what I'm saying. And you may take the bonding knife ritual. I think this one is actually worth it, because if 1 Crisis squad gets half its units blown up, particularly if you've only taken 2, you're then on double 1s. With this, you're still in your leadership of 8, which is a massive improvement. Crisis are probably the auto take in the Elite section. There's always going to be a Crisis team because they're so versatile, because they can take so many different weapons. So it just depends on what you want your team to do, really. Then the Stealth team. Now, this is one of Kieran's favourites, so I've got a lot of nasty experiences with stealth teams. They are 30 points a model, and you get a chassis No, 3 shots where is standard. And they're weapon skill 2, BS 3, strength 4, toughness 3, 1 wound, initiative 2, 2 attack, leadership 8, and a 3 up save. They are the poor cousins of the Crisis team. And you actually pay 8 points more for them. But for that you also get a burst cannon and a stealth battle suit. And the stealth battle suit has a couple of extra gimmicks. I believe it gives stealth and shrouded, but I'll double check. Yeah, they have multi-tracker, black sun filter, stealth, and shrouded. I don't know why they have multi-trackers, because they only have one weapon, but I suppose it's useful. Stealth and shrouded, combine the two together, they have a 4+ cover save, default. Put them behind a unit, that's a 2+ cover save. That's nuts. So, they're very good at not getting killed, even though they're toughness 3 with 1 wound. Because they can get a 2-up cover save if they're behind anybody. And you get a burst cannon, which costs 10 points anyway. So a Crisis with a burst cannon is 32, a stealth with a burst is 30. You also get infiltrate and sportify. That also gives you the option to outflank, which is okay, but it depends on what you equip them with. You're meant to include up to 3 additional chasseurs, so you can have 6 in a squad. That's not bad. 6 burst cannons will wreck face. Trust me, it wrecks face when you're playing against guard. For any stealth stats where you may take a single support system, so you can't switch your weapon out, well you can, well, yeah, for every 3 you can take a fusion blaster for 10 points. No, 5 points, what am I on about? For every 3 models, excluding drones in the unit, 1 may take a fusion blaster for 5 points. Now because he doesn't have target lock, you'll have to then pay for target lock on top of that to make this fusion blaster work, I think. But you can also take anything from the support systems list. So again, counterfire defense for Overwatch at PS2 is always useful. Vectored retro thrusters to get you out of a jam, that's handy. Advanced targeting system, if you plan to shred a command squad and you want to pick the commander off, you can get 6s, that's handy. So that's the sort of thing I'd look at. Then you can upgrade to a stealth chasseur for 10 points, and that gives you, again, an extra attack and an extra point of leadership. I think this is okay, but if you're good... Again, this comment I had said Shadow Sun isn't that good in stealth. I disagree, but if you're going to put Shadow Sun in stealth, don't bother with a chasseur, because what's an extra leadership point when you've got a leadership 10 girl in there anyway? But if they're not, again, leadership 9 is better than leadership 8 by a long way. I haven't actually crunched the numbers though. Stealth chasseur may take 1 support system, same as before. Oh, I missed something. Okay, rewind back to Crisis. Crisis chasseurs can take signature systems. I missed that. So you can take signature systems on your Crisis Sergeant. That's another reason to take them. Sorry. Okay, fast forward again. Stealth chasseur may take a homing beacon for 10 points, which is to do with outflanking, I think. I'll just double check. It's been a while actually since I had a look at this Codex, so I need to check a couple of things. Support systems, I'm assuming... Oh, no, it's not a support system. Then where is it? I'm assuming it's 6 inches, and that's a positional relay. Oh, I know this one. Oh, here we go. Friendly models arriving by deep strike do not scatter as long as the first model is placed within 6 inches of a homing beacon. Yeah, it's to do with deep strike, so you can't scatter in 6 inches. And that's 10 points. Good if you plan to jump your stealth in and then call Crisis down, but you need to get your stealth in cover to make that work. You can take a marker light and target lock for 5 points. That does not replace your burst cannon. That's important. So you can still take a burst cannon, but you can marker light as well. Oh, instead. Yeah. Stealth chasseur may take up to 2 drones. I would go gun drones because you don't need shield drones if you've got a 4-up cover save anyway and a 3-up armour. You're going to very, very rarely need a 4-up invul. And marker drones, I suppose, but they won't help your stealth team. That's what Pathfinders are for. And missile drones I don't think are available, so gun drones, if you're going to take drones at all. The entire unit may take bonding knife. As with Crisis, I think it's worth it, particularly on such expensive models. So, bonding knife, probably. But it's up to you. If you've got 3 points flying around, or 5 points flying around, go for it. Go nuts. And I really hate stealth. I love stealth, but I hate them, because they murder me. Burst cannons absolutely murder my guard, so I don't like stealth teams for that reason, but they're absolutely awesome. and they have a 4-up cover save, which makes them very, very viable. And then the big guy, the Riptide. He is weapon skill 2, ballistic skill 3, which is a bit pants, strength and toughness 6, 5 wounds, initiative 2, 3 attacks, leadership 9, and a 2-up save. Which actually isn't as scary as you might think. It also comes with the Riptide shield generator, which gives it, I believe, a 5+ invul. I think it's a 5+. I'm 99% sure it's a 5+ invul. It's a 5+ invul, so it's got a 2-up save and a 5-up invul. That's not bad, and you can't give it a 4-up invul with a shield generator because it's not allowed in the war gear list. And it's 180 points. So, that's not bad. It also comes with the Black Sun filter and the multi-tracker, a heavy burst cannon, which is 36-inch range, strength 6, AP 4, heavy 8. So anything that isn't a Space Marine, this thing is going to absolutely massacre. It also has a Nova Charge. I'll come on to Nova Charge in a minute. And it has a twin-link smart missile system, which is, I believe, also 30-inch range, strength 5, AP 5, heavy 4, ignores cover, can go around corners. So this thing's got quite a good range, but it's only weapon skill 2, it only has 3 attacks, and it's only initiative 2. If you can get anywhere near this thing, you will massacre it. It is a jetpack monstrous creature, so it can jump around at will, and it has smash, so you can't just run a dreadnought at it and hope for the best. But it's actually not as terrifying looking at the stat line and the war gear as you might think. And it has supporting fire, which is awful. I think having supporting fire is what can really break a Riptide. I mean, 8 shots, even on Overwatch, that's possibly 2, maybe even 3 hits. And strength 6 AP4, that's a squad shredded. And it has the Nova Reactor. Right. Nova Reactor. This is like... The ion weapons have a thing called Overcharge. And this is similar, although it's not quite the same. As in, it's a lot more risky. And I can't turn pages. Right, here we go. So, the Nova Reactor. You must declare if the pilot is going to attempt to use the reactor, a Nova Charge as I call it, at the start of each movement phase. If you do, roll a d6. On a 1 or 2, something goes wrong. So the Riptide suffers a wound with no saves of any kind and the attempt fails. So a third of the time, this actually causes a wound on the Riptide, which is good. On a 3+, the attempt is successful and you can choose one of the abilities listed below for the Riptide to have until the start of its next movement phase, so through its turn and through yours. Now this is where it becomes terrifying. Option 1, Nova Shield. The Riptide has a 3-up invul. I mean, come on, a monstrous creature with a 2-up, 3-up? Dude, yes, it's only on a 3+, but that's awful. Particularly if it's stuck in melee, you can just keep using that one. Boost. The Riptide rolls 4d6 for its thrust move in the assault phase, so instead of 2, it moves 4, meaning it's probably going to move 14 inches. That's awful, because that just gets it completely out of the way. Ripple Fire. The Riptide can fire its Twin-Link Fusion Blaster, Twin-Link Plasma Rifle, or Twin-Link Smart Missile System, because you can swap the Smart Missile System, twice this turn, even though they're fired twice, each only casts as firing 1 weapon. That's not as bad, but if you've got tanks in your face firing 2 Twin-Link Fusion Blasters, you're probably going to kill it. Same with Terminators, 2 Twin-Link Plasma Rifles, rapid firing. That's 4 shots, twin-linked. And Twin-Link Smart Missile System, if you're out of line of sight, don't care, you're toast. Because that's 8 shots. So that's not as awful, but it's still quite awful. And then Nova Charge, this is why I get the name. The Riptide's Ion Accelerator or Heavy Burst Cannon can fire using its Nova Charge profile. And the Nova Charge profiles are absolutely awful. So, the Heavy Burst Cannon, when you Nova Charge, 36-inch range, strength 6, AP 4, heavy 12, rending, gets hot. So, actually not as bad as I thought. You're going to actually need to take 2 armor saves on average, but still, that's 6 hits, and then probably at least 1 will rend. That's awful. That's evil. And it only gets worse with the, where's it now? Ion Accelerator. I mean, the Ion Accelerator is an extra 5 points. And for that, your weapon becomes 72-inch range, strength 7, AP2, heavy 3. That is the ultimate Terminator killer. I'm sorry, that's the ultimate Terminator killer. If you go for Overcharge, which is not the same as Nova Charge, that's a different thing entirely. When you go for Overcharge, it becomes heavy 1, gets hot, large blast. Strength 8, AP2. That is the anything with a 2+ armor save killer. That's Space Marine Captain killer territory. That's evil, but it does get hot. Then if you go for the Nova Charge mode, so you roll the 3+ and you choose to Nova it, it becomes strength 9 AP2, ordnance 1, large blast, gets hot. Meaning it becomes a tank killer as well. My goodness, that's powerful. It's not the same as rolling 12 shots across somebody, but strength 9 AP2, ordnance, large blast, that's absolutely evil. Oh, post. That's evil. That's really nasty. Of course, that's on a 3+, and he has to choose that ability. I mean, there may be a time where he thinks, I don't want a Nova Charge because I need to move, or I need the invul. They're just as bad as each other, really. You may swap the Smart Missile System for a Twin-Link Plasma Rifle or a Twin-Link Fusion Blaster for free, whichever takes your fancy. I'd keep the Smart Missile System, but I can see why Twin Fusion will be good, or Twin Plasma. And this is the bad bit. May take up to 2 shielded missile drones. What the hell are they? Well, I'll tell you. They are basically a regular drone, but they're toughness 6. So, weapon skill 2, BS 2, strength 4, toughness 6, 1 wound, initiative 4, 1 attack, leadership 7, 4. That's only because of majority toughness. Because if it wasn't, the Riptide becomes toughness 4. It has to be toughness 6 for that reason. And jetpack infantry with a missile pod and a shield generator. So you've got a missile drone and a shield drone in one place. You're actually paying to have both of those drones. You're paying 25 points. But a missile drone and a shield drone in one drone is quite evil. Plus, at toughness 6, they're not detracting the toughness from the Riptide. And they have supporting fire. So if the Riptide gets charged, eat a missile pod. Or 2 missile pods, you can take 2 drones. That would make the Riptide 230 points, bear in mind. Oh, excuse me, I'm still trying to shake this skull. And you're made to take up to 2 items from the support systems list. Now, the only difference is you are not allowed vectored retro thrusters, you are not allowed the shield generator, and you have to pay 35 points for the stimulant injector, which is feel no pain. So it's 35 points if you want feel no pain. As it bloody well should be. Right. That's the Riptide. Now, how do you kill it? If you're still here at the end of this video and you actually want to hear how to kill a Riptide, I'll do my best. Simply, it's only got 5 wounds, toughness 6 to its head. That's a bog standard monstrous creature. In melee, it sucks. It's got 3 attacks at strength 6, weapon skill 2. That's 1 hit, 1 kill, realistically. That sucks. So you can easily, if you can get any sort of squad that can do melee damage into melee with a Riptide, it's bogged down. I'm thinking Hormagaunts. I'm thinking Orc Boys. I'm thinking any Space Marine of any denomination whatsoever, with possibly the exception of Scouts. Terminators would absolutely wreck this thing, because I don't know if monstrous creatures ignore armor saves by default nowadays. I think they do, but I'm not 100% if their attacks are all AP2. I think they are. So you either want to hoard it and keep it there forever, or you want something with a decent invuln that can just tank it and tank it. Because if it's not shooting, and it's not jumping around, it's doing nothing. And all that will happen is he'll keep trying to Nova Charge to get that 3+ invuln, and all that will happen is that he'll either get a 3+ invuln and do nothing for a turn, or he won't, and he'll take a wound, making it easier for you to kill him. The weapons are pretty evil. The Ion Accelerator will absolutely murder Terminators. So, if he takes the Ion, hide your elite units. If he takes the Burst Cannon, run your elite units straight at it, because it's AP4, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. With the exception of armies that don't really get the 3+ and the 4 and the 2+ armor save. In that case, you have a problem. Dealing with the drones, easy enough, same as any drone, but that's up to 6. So if you're going to shoot at a Riptide, you're going to have to bring las cannons, or equivalent to las cannons, rocket launchers, melters, your usual tank hunting, monster hunting weapons really, but you've got to think, this isn't like a dreadnought on steroids, this is a monstrous creature. So things like melters are maybe less effective because they're not going to pop it in one go. And try and get behind the drones, because if the drones are in the way, they can tank it on their 4+ invul. And that's all I can really say, is kill it the same way you kill any other monstrous creature, but it could get in your face, because if it jumps, it's right in your face. 2d6/4d6, that thing is right up in your face. So beware of that, and if it does, if he jumps into your face, just charge him with everything you've got. You can only overwatch one thing at a time, lock it down, and then kill the rest of the army. You can try and ignore it, but with a gun that powerful, even at BS3, it's risky. So, the elite section. Crisis suits. Pretty much auto takes. Equip them for what you want them to do. Don't just pick and mix. Stealth. Absolutely evil. Absolutely brilliant though. And if you can get them behind a unit like Fire Warriors or into cover, 2+ cover save. Done. Not going to die. Although they still do suck in melee, so you may well consider some counter-fire defense system to get Overwatch on BS2. Riptide, it's a beat stick. Give it an ion accelerator if you're facing an elite army, give it a burst cannon for everything else. Take a drone, maybe 2 if you've got the points, and I wouldn't actually advise Nova charging all the time. Sometimes you're best off, particularly if you're on 1 or 2 wounds, let it go and just deal with it as you are, because a Riptide is still pretty powerful without the Nova. And if you're going to die on a 2 down, that's a bit of a risk. Anyway, I've prattled on for 20 minutes. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to leave any comments down below. Go down to the links in the description, go to Twitter, go to Facebook, follow me, like me, whatever. I have set up a Twitch account, but I'm not going to be streaming anything for a while because, well, I don't think I know how to stream, and I haven't got everything set up to stream anyway. So, the next video will be James's first video. He's recorded some Dawn of War 2 campaign gameplay, and he will be doing a Let's Play series on that. And that will be on the channel whenever he can make it, really. So, thank you for watching. My name is Michael, and I will see you again.